Carbon wheels are one of the best upgrades that you can make to your bike, but there is a £2,800 difference in price between the lowest price wheels here and then the fancy wheels up at that end. But how much money do you actually need to spend? Let's find out.
So kicking off with the lowest price rims, we have the Velocity Hyperdrives, and they come in at, well, just shy of £600.
Which is really, really good. Then we move up to a set of Hunt wheels. These are the 700 quid set wheels, so we just small bump up.
Now, those have won a Giro d'Italia victory.
They have won at the World Tour level, which is quite impressive. Then we move on to a set of head wheels. We in the UK don't see many head wheels, but they are trying to break into the market here. We move up to the Ultegra C50 wheels. These are 1,200-ish quid. Then up to the Hunt Limitless 60.
Yeah, so this is the new version with carbon fibre spokes as well.
Very, very fancy. They're about 1,000.
They're 1,499. And for £1 more, we have the Roval Rapide CL2. So this is the tubeless model, but they get the same rims as the more expensive CLX wheels, but with DT350 hubs.
This time we get over the £2,000 mark to the Campagnolo WTO 60 wheel set.
These are very pretty, aren't they?
So pretty.
Yeah.
But yes, just over £2,000 for them, so you are paying for it. And then lastly, Jamie, the wheels that you've been riding forever.
Yeah, so these are the Zipp 454 NSWs with some wavy rims, which is designed to shed vortices so crosswinds don't affect you as much. These have a whopping price tag of £3,400, which...
Right. Well, that is quite a lineup, I think you'll agree. That's our lineup of wheels. Should we talk about the process?
Yes. So we've all seen wind tunnel data from all of these suppliers, and in fact Hunt and Cadex say that the Rovals are quickest in their testing. So we'll see if we can replicate that on the road. Obviously me and you don't ride in wind tunnels, so well, we're here to find out in the real world whether you can actually tell a difference between your 600 quid set of wheels and your £3,400 set of wheels.
So we've got a 6 kilometre loop. It's flat to rolling. We're going to ride each wheel set once each.
Yep. So
each wheel set will get 2 runs, and then we will kind of see if there are any time differences. We're going to keep the same position, the same tyres. We're going to keep the same pressures. Everything that we can control will be kept the same, down to I am actually going to have to watch the watts that I ride at.
Very carefully.
I am going to ride at the everyman's 200 watt mark. I think that's, well, one with my current fitness is how much I can actually put out these days. Jamie is going to ride at 300 watts to represent some more keen kind of racer people. But yes, shall we actually get testing?
Yeah, let's go fit some wheels. Well, we're all done. No, I think we did a bloody good job.
Okay, well, that is all of the testing done. We've taken a break to feed Jamie because he worked very, very hard. What was it? 17 minutes at 300 watts? Yeah, it's November and I'm amazed that you can still do that.
It wasn't overly enjoyable, if I'm honest, but...
can't imagine why you're not racing cyclocross, to be honest.
Really quite pleased with the results, though.
Yeah, we were within plus or minus 1 watt of our target power
on all 7 efforts.
All 7 efforts, which personally is a massive achievement for me because I hate riding at a given power. I really despise it.
But I think this is as close to real world conditions as most riders are ever going to experience, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will 100% do this test again if a brand comes and says that they're not happy with the result and then they offer to supply us with all of the wheel sets and all of the tyres set up perfectly without us having to change.
We have spent most of the day changing over tyres, cassettes and disc rotors, haven't we?
My thumbs are ruined because I had the tubeless ones.
Yeah, so Liam did all the tests tubeless and I did them all with tubes in.
And you know what? I think that's quite a nice segue to talk about some of our observations, because the first thing that I want to do is say that I had 7 wheel sets to ride, all 7 of them set up tubeless like that. They were so good.
Tubeless has come on a long way, and I've been telling you this for a few months now.
Yeah,
but it's got better.
I still like my latex inner tubes, so there we go.
So my observations is I don't like external lock rings for disc brake rotors. The Campags had some of them. Yeah. And I don't mind a noisy free hub, but the Hunt Limitless wheels, they do have a noisy free hub. So if you don't like it, then you're either going to have to pack it full of grease or choose another wheel set.
At the other end of that spectrum, the Shimano's were by far and away my favourite free hub body sound, because you couldn't hear them. They were great. They're lovely.
There's been a tendency for wheels, the recent wheels, to go super wide.
Yeah.
So those Rovals and the Hunt Limitless again, I think they're both 35mm external width, and both of us experienced that they were really stable.
They're very stable in the wind. I did not like being able to see the rim hooks or whatever they are.
Yeah,
the edges of the rim, besides either side of the tyre. That really concerned me. And I know you've got some experience of this, Jamie. Do you want to tell the lovely people?
I had a set of the original Rapide CLX wheels, and I was using them with 26mm tyres, and I hit a rock on the road and it hit the carbon rim instead of the tyre. Normally you have the tyre to protect the rim, and I cracked the rim, and Specialized were very good, they replaced it, but I only now use 28mm or more on those wheels. So.
Yeah, it might be something that you've got to stick with. So one thing that we should point out is that the differences in the wheels were really actually quite marginal, and that shows in the results but also in our observations. So when I know that you were saying that your impressions of the Campag wheels were that they were twitchy in the wind.
Yeah, it's probably just down to it being a 60mm front rim, whereas a lot of them are 50mm front rims. But yeah, really the difference is marginal.
It's small. But shall we actually crack into some results?
Yeah, let's take a look.
The first thing to say is that the speed of the wheel does not increase as you spend more money, does it?
No, and I wouldn't say the quality control does either.
No, but that's a story for another day. The Velocity wheels that we tested first, I rode these and you rode these, and we were both really pleasantly surprised by these wheels.
They also weren't the slowest wheels we tested.
No, they kind of sat in the mid-ground, and realistically they're what, 600
just
quid?
Shy of 600 quid.
Just shy. Realistically, if you are on a budget, these are going to be absolutely fine for you. You're going to get most of the speed without paying a ton of money. The quickest wheels were the Rovals, the Rapide CL2s. We're not entirely surprised by this.
Wind tunnel data does suggest that.
Yeah, and it's kind of what we found. The difference is, though, they were only faster by, what, a second for you and a few seconds for me.
Yeah.
Personally, the biggest surprise of the day for me was the heads. I've not ridden a set of heads in at least 7 years. They were absolutely brilliant. They were fast. They felt the fastest, but also they were the most comfortable, and I found that they were incredibly stable in the crosswinds.
Again, quite a wide wheel set.
Yeah.
Head obviously have a very good reputation for their aero, and our testing shows that
they're quite good at it, funnily enough.
One thing about the heads is they are quite weighty, so if you are doing prolonged climbs, we just had a rolling course.
Yeah.
If you're doing prolonged climbs, then maybe they're not the wheel set for you.
It would have to be, though, a very steep climb for the wheel set weight to make a difference. I think one thing that we really can't, even I can't, say against is that aero really does matter more than weight these days.
Aero is king.
I really do hate. But hey, Campagnolo, let me, because this is my favourite wheel set to look at.
And their spoke pattern is iconic.
It is nice. But how do they ride for you?
Yeah, a little bit twitchier at the front. Again, probably because of the depth. Again, not the lightest wheel set because they are quite deep. But they're quick. Not the quickest, but they're quick.
Very easy to set up with tubeless tyres because they have a solid rim bed. They are only 19 millimeters internally, so I think they pair best with narrower tyres. We're talking like a 25, 26 mil tyre. There was, Jamie, one wheel set though that really didn't perform so well.
Yeah.
Do you want to spill the beans on that?
Yeah, the Ultegras, the C50s, they're the slowest wheels that we tested today.
Yep.
I thought that when I came back and looked at the time, I thought maybe I've done something wrong.
Maybe your discs were rubbing, but
they
went
weren't.
out on my bike.
I then span them and they weren't.
They went out on my bike then, and
we had exactly the same result, really, didn't we?
My results confirmed it. They were just slow.
They didn't feel that quick either.
Whereas
the Rovals and the Hunts, they sound really good.
Yes.
The Ultegras didn't even sound good either. I'll stick to Shimano for my group sets. And
yes, maybe somewhere else for your wheels if you're looking to be speedy. Conclusions.
Yes. So which wheel sets are you choosing?
Yes, and I've been thinking about this over lunch or late lunch. I just cannot see myself spending past £1,000. I do not see the point. There is nothing. Okay, so if I had the money, I'd get the Campags because they sound the best to me and they look the best.
Yep.
And I like the hubs. I can't justify going for even the £1,500 options.
The differences really are minimal, as our testing shows.
Yeah, I'd have the Hunts or the Velocities. And by the way, I would also spend pretty much £1,000 on primes or anything in that kind of budget, 700 quid.
New Primaveras are 900 quid.
Yes, yeah.
I tested the 44s and they were very good as
Good looking wheel set. Jamie, yourself?
So I like racing, and in my mind I realised that the data means I'm not getting a big advantage, but in my mind I want to be on the quickest out there. And to do that, I think you're looking at spending about 1,500 quid.
Yeah.
So either the Roval Rapide CL2s, they get exactly the same rims as the more expensive CLX, which they're really good rims. And DT350 hubs, there's nothing wrong with them either. So either them or the Hunts, this is the limitless UD60 carbon spoke version.
Yeah.
I was also really impressed with them. So my money would go on either one of those two, and well, yeah, just because they were the quickest in our test, really.
I have to say though that you've got to remember that the data here isn't insignificant. Those wattage savings, those time savings are not insignificant because our testing was really short. Now, if Jamie here goes out and does a road race that's, okay, say you get in the break and you do that same 300 watt effort.
Yeah, I'll be out for 3 hours instead of 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you're gonna be saving a little bit of time every 6 kilometers or whatever, it's not in itself going to win you the race, but it will make you get to the finish with just a little bit more energy. And as we know, in sprint finishes, if you've got a little bit more energy, you generally go okay.
Every little helps. Am I allowed to say that? I'm not sure.
Tesco are not the sponsors of this video. One of the main things for us today was setting our tyre pressure correctly, as this makes a massive difference on ride feel and speed. If you want to know how to set your tyre pressure perfectly, there's a video popping up on your screen.
Let us know which wheels you'd choose from this selection, or if there's other wheels that you'd like us to test next time, then let us know what they are.
Remember to drop us a like and subscribe, because it really does help us do more of these videos, and we will see you guys in the next one.